Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda and I'm happy that you're here. In today's bonus episode of Midnight Murmurs, Stories for Swift Nights, we will be reading the winter selections from Poetry for Young People, Robert Frost, edited by Gary D. Schmidt and illustrated by Henri Sorensen. So for Season 1's bonus episode, we read the poems relating to fall. In this episode, we'll read the poems relating to winter. So if that sounds good to you, I invite you to grab a cozy beverage, kick back, and let's dive in. Poems of Winter. Now close the windows and hush all the fields. If the trees must, let them silently toss. No bird is singing now, and if there is, be it my loss. It will be long ere the marshes resume. It will be long ere the earliest bird. So close all the windows and hear not the wind, but see all winds stirred. When winter comes in New England, houses need to be shut against the cold. This poem is about closing the windows, but it is also about being comfortable at home, looking out from a warm room to the cold outside. You want to come up here, Coney? I didn't know you liked poetry so much. Would you like to join us? All right, well, you get comfortable. All right, ready for the next poem? Conan is going to join us. Wind and Window Flower. Lovers, forget your love, and list to the love of these. She a window flower, and he a winter breeze. When the frosty window veil was melted down at noon, and the caged yellow bird hung over her in tune, he marked her through the pane. He could not help but mark, and only passed her by, to come again at dark. He was a winter wind, concerned with ice and snow, dead weeds and unmated birds, and little of love could know. But he sighed upon the sill, he gave the sash a shake, as witness all within who lay that night awake. Perchance he half prevailed to win her for the flight from the fire-lit looking-glass in warm stove window light. But the flower leaned aside and thought of naught to say, and morning found the breeze 100 miles away. It is hard to imagine a winter wind loving a window flower, especially when the flower is set against the window as a reminder that spring will come. Perhaps this is what the wind comes to realize as well, because the flower is not interested in him. A patch of old snow. There's a patch of old snow in a corner that I should have guessed was a blow-away paper the rain had brought to rest. It is speckled with grime, as if small print overspread it, the news of a day I'd forgotten, if I ever read it. Towards the end of winter, when most of the snow has melted, Frost finds a small patch of dirty snow, perhaps shaded from the sun. Watch how this single image makes him think about the past. True. Next, we've got Good Hours. I had for my winter evening walk no one at all with whom to talk, but I had the cottages in a row up to their shining eyes in snow. And I thought I had the folk within. I had the sound of a violin. I had the glimpse through curtain laces of youthful forms and youthful faces. I had such company outward bound. I went till there were no cottages found. I turned and repented, but coming back, I saw no window, but that was black. Over the snow, my creaking feet disturbed the slumbering village street, like profanation, by your leave, at 10 o'clock of a winter's eve. In many of Frost's poems, he walks along a path and comments on what he sees. Here, on a cold winter's night, he feels the companionship of those inside the houses he passes. The woodpile. Out walking in the frozen swamp one gray day, I paused and said, I will turn back from here. No, I will go on farther, and we shall see. The hard snow held me, save where now and then one foot went through. The view was all in lines, straight up and down of tall slim trees, too much alike to mark or name a place, by so as to say for certain I was here, or somewhere else. I was just far from home. A small bird flew before me. He was careful to put a tree between us when he lighted, and say no word to tell me who he was, who was so foolish as to think what he thought. He thought I was after him for a feather, the white one in his tail, like one who takes everything said as personal to himself. One flight out sideways would have undeceived him. And then there was a pile of wood, for which I forgot him and let his little fear carry him off the way I might have gone, without so much as wishing him good night. He went behind it to make his last stand. It was a cord of maple, cut and split, and piled, and measured, 4 by 4 by 8, and not another like it I could see. No runner's tracks in this year's snow looped near it. And it was older sure than this year's cutting, or even last year's, or the years before. The wood was gray, and the bark warping off it, and the pile somewhat shrunken. Clematis had wound strings round and round it like a bundle. What held it, though, on one side was a tree, still growing, and on one a stake and prop, these latter about to fall. I thought that only someone who lived in turning to fresh tasks could so forget his handiwork on which he spent himself, the labor of his axe, and leave it there far from a useful fireplace, to warm the frozen swamp as best it could, with the slow smokeless burning of decay. In New England, wood for winter is cut the previous winter so that it can be slid on snow out of the woods. Here, a neatly stacked woodpile seems ready to be taken out, but it has stood there for some time, rotting in the snow. The image makes Frost think about what might have happened. And to wrap up the poems of winter, we've got Storm Fear. When the wind works against us in the dark and pelts with snow, the lower chamber window on the east, and whispers with a sort of stifled bark, the beast, "Come out! Come out!" It costs no inward struggle not to go. Ah, no! I count our strength, 2 and a child, those of us not asleep subdued to mark how the cold creeps as the fire dies at length, how the drifts are piled, dooryard and road ungraded, till even the comforting barn grows far away, and my heart owns a doubt whether 'tis in us to arise with day and save ourselves unaided. As in Now Close the Windows, Frost thinks about his family watching the winter from their warm house, but this time there is a fearful snowstorm. So what did you think, dear listener? This episode was a shorty but a goodie. I don't know if it's just me, but I think I preferred the fall poems over the winter poems we read today. I think inherently autumn seems to be a more magical place where the seasons are changing, the colors are changing, and in winter, yes, you can admire the beautiful translucence of snow, but besides that, I also feel like when Robert Frost was writing his poems out on the American frontier, winters were a lot more deadly. If you got caught out in a winter storm and you walked the wrong way, you could walk out into the wilderness and freeze to death. I think we should be very grateful that we live in the 21st century. And we've got modern conveniences that will save us from freezing to death in the snow. I mean, at least I'm grateful for that. I hope you are as well. So if you're a fan of Robert Frost and you're excited for spring, please leave a comment below and like this video so I know that you're excited for the next bonus episode. Spring, it's coming quicker than we realize, really. I hope you're having a wonderful winter season, staying warm or cool out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.